Right, we're at the beginning of round 8 now, and the first thing you'll see is that I have now placed the markers into the caramel round, which we should have done a few rounds back, but I've kept them off just for the videoing. And the markers, you can go back and have a look at the explanation on your pattern. I believe it's round 5, or you may have already put them in because you haven't got to worry about them clonking on the desk. But where they sit is the middle double crochet at the top of all the petals, in fact, of the pinnacle petal, if you like, or the middle cluster of all of the 4 petals. So you've got 4 stitch markers there marking points that we're going to use for our copper round. So if I look at my sample here, sorry, I'm saying copper because I'm using the original colourway, but what I mean is this outline round 8. So we are familiar with what this looks like because we've already done it on the caramel round, but there's a couple of things just to point out to you. So we'll do one repeat so you can just make sure that you don't slip up on anything or that everything is really clear. Okay, I'm going to start by joining the yarn into any marked stitch. So I'm just going to undo that ready so it makes it easier to remove. Put my hook in to make sure I'm in the right place and pull up a loop. So the yarn, joining the yarn is the same as we've been working all the way through. And our normal reminder applies that we're working UK terminology. So we've joined the yarn, but that's not counting as our first stitch. So I'm going to go into the same space, or the same stitch, sorry, and make 1 double crochet and 1 chain. Now we've joined into the caramel round, but that actually isn't the round that we were previously working on. It sort of messed with my head a little bit. We've actually been working this round, this cardinal round. So when we're skipping stitches and stuff, it's this round that we're talking about, not the caramel round. Hands up who made that mistake. I'm putting my hands up, you can't see. So to carry on, we need to start working into these very outer petals. So we're going to skip this chain and we're going to skip the first double crochet. In fact, I think we're going to skip 3, aren't we? We're going to skip the chain and 3 stitches. So skip 1, 2, 3, and we'll start in this stitch here. And we will make 1 double crochet and 3 into the next stitch. So it's that pattern that you'll be aware of, or familiar with, I should say. 3 into that next one, and one double into the next 2, which brings us round to that little dip between those 2 curved petals, and that's where we're going to put our first spike double crochet. And this time we're only going down as far as the base of the previous double crochet, so we're just going to put our hook underneath or at the base of that next double crochet and make our spike stitch there. Okay, and so we've covered that up, so we don't need to work that stitch underneath, but we're going to make 2 double crochet, 1 into the next 2 stitches, and at this top point, so the highest point, the next 3 double crochet we're going to be working into the front loops only. Okay, which means we've done this before, haven't we? So it means that we're going to leave a loop at the back that we can use later on. And we last did this, I believe, in Moffat Flower. We worked front loops only there, so if you're not too sure, you can sort of pop back and look at those, but it's fairly self-explanatory. You just put your hook under the front loop only of the stitch. 2 double crochet to come down the other side of that little curved petal, and we're back to doing our spike stitch. All right, again, 1 and 2. So familiar pattern, it's just the sort of outlining of the petals, isn't it? And we're going all the way through the stitches. The only front loop only stitches we do are at the pinnacle of the middle petal. The others go all the way through. Okay, 1 double crochet in there. And now we're kind of back to reversing what we did at the beginning. So we've done 1 double crochet, 1 chain, and we're now going to join into the next marked stitch. There's 1 double crochet. I can take that pin out, and I'll just remove the hook for now, and we'll just have a little look at the first repeat. So you can see what we've done there is outlined the outer petals and secured them nicely to the front layer of petals. That's 1 repeat, so should be quite straightforward now for you to go all the way around. So here we are at the end of round 8, and you can see that we have outlined our largest petal. So that was round 8.